Welcome to another edition of A Strange New Pod. I am your captain and host, Julian Brown, and so far, none of our co-hosts have been sarcastically dismissed by Jet Reno. Yet. We need to get Tig Notaro. We need to get Tig Notaro on the show.
Shame me.
Shame me, please.
That sounded weird.
No,
not like that. But
it's fine.
Yeah. Shame my pums.
Shame us. We want it. As always, I'm joined alongside the best bridge crew this side of the old Emerald. I'm gonna do that again. This side of the old Emerald Chain territory, the Borg Queen of Puns, Lieutenant Brittany, and the one woman Uhura fan club that puts all other Uhura fan clubs to shame, Commander Giraffe, Jolan True. How we doing?
That was very Jolan True of you. Giraffe is the biggest Uhura fan in the world.
Absolutely. Though I met some people that can beat me, to be honest.
I don't know.
Give me 10 years. Give me 20 years.
You went hard on
We'll
eBay for that
more.
Ebony magazine that's framed and now signed. So,
Toastworth.
you know.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing okay.
We're doing fine. Okay. We're doing great. I'm using OBS without an overlay. It's working. Everything's going well. If you're wondering, Rear Admiral Eric is currently in sick bay. But don't worry, Dr. Colbert is tending to those wounds. Maybe shirtless, maybe not. Who knows?
He's our sick bay.
Ooh, I'm not even going to shame you for that one because it's true.
Good.
Ensign Admiral Aaron.
Photoshopped on him?
What happened?
Remember when they photoshopped me on top of his body?
Yes, that was really scary. That was
it
really
haunts
scary.
me to this day.
Ensign Admiral Aaron is also getting a hypo spray for the common cold, and Lieutenant Hawk is on shore leave tonight. But we'll make this happen. We'll make it work. We're gonna have a nice little shorter show tonight, which is never a bad thing. It's gonna be good this week. A shocking discovery, about the DMA sends shockwaves through the Federation as Starfleet's leading scientists join Stamets and Saru to try and figure out its mystery. Plus, Michael and Book lead a daring rescue of 6 prisoners whose prison is in the path of the now moved DMA. Really weird. I just made a lot of Trumpy hand motion and it makes me feel really dirty inside.
You didn't trump it up. I didn't get that vibe at all.
It was fine.
Bile, sorry. And also there's doctor on doctor
Doctor
therapy.
On doctor what?
Damn.
I'm excuse me. Stamets and Colbert, what they do in the bedroom.
How you doing?
Up to them.
After Dark Trek, okay.
After Dark Trek, a doctor on doctor advice therapy session in this episode as well, featuring David Cronenberg as Kovich, which was a nice little scene. But we're going to get into all of that. But before we do, Brittany, we need to thank our patrons at the Ready Room level and above.
It's me, thanking you. So special thanks to Simon Steger. I knew Giraffe was going to laugh at that. Special thanks to Simon Steger, Jeff Reeve, Mariah Gossett, Spotted Giraffe.
Why am
Rob,
I still here?
We're never removing you. I'm going to say you even if your name's not in there. Rob, Jen Stein, Tina Alexander, Joe Saporito, Noe Santos, Kang Hui, Haven, Takako Nagumo, Kara Kennedy, Mark, Fernanda Nogales, SMK, Ian Davies, Amy Grace, and Laura Linderman.
Yay! Clap, 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 clap. So you want to hear a funny story?
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to restart the
Does
pod.
that involve a fire pit?
No, we're not talking about the fire pit story. I'm not going to restart the pod because I could pull the audio from Twitch, but I totally forgot to hit record because I'm doing too many things at once.
I was actually going to ask, are you recording this video?
It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter because I'm going to just pull the Twitch audio afterwards. So it doesn't matter.
You can also download the video straight from Twitch.
That's what I'm going to do. So it's there's no problem. But I was like, oh hey, the light's still green. Not a big deal because technology.
Classic.
Gotta love it. Speaking of our patron collective, you guys should have something very special that dropped earlier this afternoon. A little behind the scenes chat with our interview earlier. I think it was in November with Aaron Walke, who is the co-executive producer and writer of Star Trek Prodigy. So check that out. It's fun. We had to cut one little thing that we can't talk about yet, which we're really excited to talk about when we can talk about it, but right now we can't. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Anything else going on? We're moving right along. No?
No, I see you
No.
every day.
I
So,
see you every
I feel
day.
like-
We got this awesome
Right?
paperweight that I'm actually using right now this morning in our Borg
I
Advent
like watching
calendar.
it on my way to work.
Oh,
Like,
do
I
you
like
do
to
that?
just listen- Yeah, I don't always have time to comment because, like, if I'm driving, I'm like, I'm not gonna text and drive. But I like to listen to you guys. It's fun.
I see you. I see you in the list of listeners. I was like, does she like?
Yeah.
Is she
I'm always
there?
creeping.
It's nice.
Sometimes I host it.
we have our like morning coffee crew. It's like me, Giraffe, Haven, Ensign Davies from the UK. So maybe he's
Mhm.
actually having
Good time
like
zones,
an
yeah.
afternoon coffee. But it's nice. We have our little coffee crew. So
You guys should just do that every day. Just
yeah.
No.
the morning show with
No.
Julian.
Yeah.
I can do that for a month, but after I'm gonna collapse at 6 a.m.
fine.
every day. I can't.
So, well, guys, let's just get right onto it. I think we're gonna have like a little bit of a short show tonight, but that's never a bad thing. Let's get into the strange new loop. And we saw awesome new ship today, which wasn't a Federation ship. It was the NSS T'Pau, the Navarre starship T'Pau, which was really cool. No, not happy. No, hey, no, hey. I see your heart, but I also do think, Giraffe, we talked about it this morning. The ship was red. It just was like I think the DMA bouncing off the colors. You couldn't quite see it, but I think it was red.
It was red.
I think it was red.
Okay.
I
I
think-
hope you like my
Power
little
it
Spock
has.
dance. Nobody like actually.
I like your
enjoy
Spock
my
dance.
Spock
I like
Yeah,
it.
do this.
The USS Janeway did not get blown up. That was an Armstrong class or an Eisenberg class. Not confirmed yet. Got to figure that out later. But it was one of those two classes. But I was just really fascinated with the T'Pau.
And the NSS T'Pau, okay, it's a Surak class. I know nothing about ship, but I think I know that.
You knew it was a
So please
Surak
yell
class?
At me. Yeah.
How'd you know
Wait,
that?
it's written?
Did I write
Because it's
that?
the only class I know.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
I mean, I was gonna say, isn't there a Sirach that flew into like a sun today on the show?
What?
No, she's making a really bad pun, which
I don't get it. I don't
It was
get
bad.
it.
Get off my bridge.
I got it. It was bad.
Okay, thank you.
So we saw another ship named
You're
after a legacy Trek character, the USS Janeway. And I want you guys to think about an officer from Star Trek that deserves to have a ship named after them that might not get like the historical credit and love that they deserve. Who would it be? And bonus points for what type of ship it would be. Giraffe, you already raised your hand. What do you got?
No, because you say like doesn't get the okay, I'm catching up on the outline at the same time. So sorry. No. I was gonna say the NSS T'Pol. Where is the NSS T'Pol? We want like, come on, T'Pol for Amok Time and Enterprise. Bring T'Pol. Where is she? But that's not an not unrecognized character, so I'm gonna think more.
If they did just all the T names, they could be like a whole little Tafleet together. You know?
Oh my god.
Wait, did
They
you
like
say?
summon the Vulcan.
Were you saying T'Pol, like T'Pol from Enterprise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she gets a no. Does she not get enough credit?
Not
No,
enough for a
that's why.
starship.
That's what I was saying. She gets enough credit, but I thought I didn't read the outline. Sorry, I'll go again. I'll find another answer that it's better. Prit, go.
I'm just gonna read real quick Havens, and I also not so underrated, but I'll read it. The USS Cisco, a pure Bajoran crew piloted by a 31st century Defiant class. I like the bonus points for the 31st century Defiant class. I like that, but I don't know about Cisco. Cisco won the Dominion War. I think
He gets a lot. Yeah.
He
Yeah,
would
he
get
gets
a
a lot of-
station, let's be honest.
Yeah, he would get a whole
You know
station named
what?
after Deep Space Cisco.
USS Uhura. Where is it?
Right? That's true.
They would just name Cisco's ship the USS.
I want to know what the hell is going on.
It would be like the emissary.
It
Emissary
would.
class,
It
you know.
would be the emissary.
God.
What do you got? What do you got? Who's got something?
USS Wormhole Jesus. That's what his ship would be called, and you know it. Okay, hear me out. Our beloved Harry Kim
I knew it. I was gonna say
deserves
it.
a ship. Well, because you were like, who doesn't get the recognition? We know. And they would have a friendship class starship. Ding.
Okay, I like it.
It's real. You
It's-
can Google it.
It-
I did.
No, I like it.
Because Harry Kim is the friend who's always there for you. And
Haven,
yeah, you can be like Tom Paris. You get all
Haven
the credit.
touche. The real question I was talking about Ben, Jake, or Joseph. Jake's not. Well,
Dynasty.
Jake's
The
not an
Cisco
officer.
dynasty.
Jake's not an officer unless you're talking about Joseph's doppelganger, Admiral Cartwright. I don't know, but I do like the Harry Kim, the USS Harry Kim. I dig it.
A future California class for the Kim. Yeah,
Mhm.
true.
Callie
Yeah.
Kim class.
Yeah.
Let's
Mhm.
go. I just thought the friendship sounded nice.
I
and
like
he's,
it.
The
No,
best.
I like
He's
it.
a good friend. So
Yeah,
ding.
I dig
I
it.
thought this.
No,
I googled things.
I do think then we need the USS Uhura. Come on. Like
We do.
and recognize character. Absolutely. If there's a USS Janeway, come on, bring it up. Bring it.
I'm trying to think. I'm having a hard time with this one.
You created the loop.
I
You
did.
had so much more time to think about it.
I usually have 5 other people to let think
Yeah.
before I can go, and now I don't.
And then I interrupted the pun anyway. And then he's like, "Okay, cool. I got 30 more seconds to
she ain't lying.
Yep.
I would name a ship the the USS Reno, because she wasn't in the first 4 episodes. the biggest little ship in the fleet, right? No, that's a really bad answer because everybody loves Jet Reno.
it would work because they call you know how they have like cities and stuff, Reno. It would
Yeah.
work.
Right?
What class, man? You're all about classes. Tell me the class.
Hey, if the city of Reno made it all the way to the 31st
They'd
century,
be like, "That's it. We made it. We're still here."
I mean,
It would be
deserve
and I
Wait, are you saying it's renowned?
see, this
Oh my
works. The
God.
USS Reno, baby. The USS Reno. Though it's weird to name a ship after someone that's already like still alive, right? Like everybody else is dead. This crew is currently in Starfleet. So no.
I mean, you could pretend we're like 1,000 years in the future.
Yeah.
And they didn't jump again.
The USS
think
Reno,
there's an
the biggest little
NSS
ship in the
Spock?
fleet. The biggest little ship in the fleet. And it would be the USS Hiawatha J, the ship that she somehow found a way to survive on when Pike and Michael rescued her. And it's like
That's valid.
it's a frigate. You know, she can mess around with all the shit that she wants on there and
You
yell
know
at all
why?
the people
Because you're
she
never
wants.
gonna forget her.
Are you f***ing kidding me?
I'm too
Yes.
tired.
It's
I've been
too
working so
too
hard to hear
tired,
Mariner
guys.
again.
from so
Yeah, that see, and why Riley says
I see.
the NSS T-Paul.
who had the USS Sulu? Did that comment already move far away? There was someone who wrote
Yeah.
the USS. Oh, here we
Well,
go. At USS
NYR
Sulu to
too.
honor the most famous swashbuckler in Starfleet history. There it is. I like it. Yeah.
What class?
Doesn't matter.
I had to Google classes for this, guys. Tell me your classes.
You
I
did?
researched.
You researched?
I only know
Oh.
the Constitution class because we say it so much.
I
Everything
only
else
know the
is like,
Surak class. That's the only
what's the
shit
class?
I know.
Does it have nacelles? I don't know what's happening. I was like sweating.
Does it have nacelles? Can it go to warp? Can you make us fly? You're the Enterprise. Oh, the pack lads.
It's too late or like not enough alcohol.
It's
to speak about,
6:45
ship,
where you are.
Ship classes, guys.
You know, I starship all these ideas.
I'm not
I
that
like it.
kind of Trekkie. I am not.
No, that's
You're not-
fine.
You're
You
not
don't have
that
to
Trekkie?
be. You don't have to be.
I'm not.
I was gonna say you're like the most Trekkie person I know.
It's true.
like,
Should
I
we,
don't know classes.
don't
Okay,
either.
sorry.
should we get into it? Let's
No,
do
I'm
it.
ready.
Let's
go.
do it.
I have opinions.
Star Trek Discovery, Season 4, Episode 5, The Examples. Giraffe, you're up first. Your thoughts on this episode? Oh, crack those
Okay.
knuckles. Let's go.
So first of all, I have to say that I saw it only once today at 6 a.m. Okay, so I really need to rewatch it. But first of all, excellent episode. We are going so much into the track I love, like this little episode. Like there's a main thread, of story, but they get to see new planets, new people, like these randos that come out of nowhere and everybody seems to know them, and you're like, I've never heard of that person. Who is that?
Mhm.
And the new alien of the day is always slightly a dick. I like it. I do like it. It's the Trek we wanted. Come on, thank you.
The Trek we know and love.
Exactly, like the Trek we watched when we were kids. Like, you know. So first of all, I really like this episode for this, because that dude that came out of nowhere, I already forgot his name. What's his name?
Oh,
hold on, I had it.
the dude, the doctor, right? The scientist.
I keep calling him
something.
I
Tarka,
keep
Tarka.
calling him the Outrageous Okona.
Tarka.
Yeah, it's Tarka.
Yeah,
Grand Moff
Okona.
Tarkin.
That's the same. Okay, so Ruon Tarka. Yeah, that's it. Really like what they infused into the plot. Love the TOS references. I don't know. Are we gonna do an egg hunt or something?
We
like
don't
this?
really
Like,
do Easter egg hunts anymore because there's usually not a lot of them, but there were a lot of them in this
Alright.
episode.
I
but
feel like this one
Lot.
was the one where they dropped it. They were like,
they did.
so
They're
many
like, by the way,
eggs.
Like,
Enterprise,
a-
TOS,
An egg
TNG,
bomb, an egg explosion.
everybody like got like little like references.
Voyager.
The one that made me laugh the most is like, is it a god level?
Yeah, right.
Right.
And I was like, I'm sorry. Gary Mitchell, is that
It
you?
might be.
So, and like the way that they said that super seriously, and then they tried to blow up the ship. There were so many things I love in that episode. That was so good. From the beginning with the USS Janeway and the NSS T'Pau, and all the way like to the references of Riza, of like the third season with the Neuralink, the Emerald Chain, the God level event, the let's build a wormhole inside the ship because why not? Yes, this is what I wanted. I'm happy.
It was
with
that, like, the
full
building-
season of this.
Building the wormhole in the Spore Drive Bay was like equivalent to like some next level like Geordi / Balana running the most wild experiments and getting
Yeah.
away with it by the
was
skin
so
of their
chaotic.
fucking teeth.
Scotty is just like trying to put that Romulan orb inside of the Enterprise. Like, it's like, how is that compatible? How does it that banging on it with like a tool? I was like, yes, that's the science I want. More. No, it was funny. And the one thing, like everybody was about the roar, you know, the Saru roar.
That was
I'm sorry,
goofy.
but did it sound different into the episode than into the trailer they gave us?
I don't know. I don't pay that much attention to the
Did he
trailers.
roar in the trailer? I thought the other guy was yelling
Yeah.
at him in the trailer. He was
No,
like,
he
ah,
roars
and we're
back,
like, who is
and
this
he
dude?
roars back. Yeah, he
I mean,
roars back to
you
him.
got to remember too, a lot of the stuff in trailers isn't fully post production. Like, remember last season, the Kelvin verse Time Agent had the TNG season 1 uniform on, but they had like the TNG movie badge, and that was in the trailer, and they fixed it for the episode.
Let me tell you about the Kelvin.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Did you
Nobody picks
did you
Kelvin
re-listen? Did you re-listen to the episode last week? Because I bleeped you. I put a bleep in.
You did?
I did.
About that beep first.
No.
I totally bleeped you.
Really?
I
You
legit
bleeped the Kelvin
100% bleeped you. I let you say it a
From
couple
the
times.
beginning.
No. I let you say it a few times, and then at the end of the episode, when you went on that wild fucking tangent about destroying Navarre, I was like, nope, bleep verse. I was like, that's
Hey.
the...
Redacted.
Listen,
You gotta listen to
niche, I'm
Giraffe
like
live.
this. Yeah, exactly. So, no, but like, seriously, what was I saying?
That's the kind of science I need.
Oh, okay, yeah. And though, if I need to give one criticism, it goes super fast. This episode went
It
so
did.
fast.
It does.
was So
Yeah, they
dense.
had to do a lot
There
in
were
it.
so many things in it. Like they keep speaking about like these guys they're evacuating. Have you noticed that we never see them?
Right.
We never see
Yeah,
one
it
of
only
them.
focuses on the prisoners. Yeah.
The
afterwards.
prisoners, the magistrate, and is an evil magistrate, like super TOS.
TOS of the week, baby. Well, oh,
eh.
Giraffe. And do you know what was super TOS? And I love this moment is the end of the episode when he comes onto the bridge and was like, they can't sit with us. And she's like, oh, you're the magistrate of what? That colony that just went into the sun? That was so Kirk in TOS. At the end of each episode, he would let some magistrate who gave him shit the entire episode just have it.
Absolutely.
And I loved it.
Yeah,
loved it.
And then like I thought like the end, like with the orb and the woman that find it was a really Voyager kind of, like that strange object, that random object. We're supposed to know what it is.
Yeah.
So no, yeah, good episode. A bit too fast. I wanted to know more. I hope we're gonna see Dear Tragic Okona next week again. I want to know more about that dude. Yeah, that's it. I have more opinion.
I liked it. It was good. It was good. I dug it. Brittany.
I call this episode, finally, Detmer and Owo have the day off. Because if you notice,
Absolutely.
they were not running the ship at all. They were like, you know what? Going to the holodeck. They don't have one.
They
you know
do.
what I mean?
They do. They have a
They
holodeck
do
now.
now? Okay.
Yeah, they have a
They're
holodeck
they're taking a break for once, and I was like, good for them. Good for them. I miss them though. But I will say my favorite Trek. I know last week's episode everybody was saying like Trek is at its best when it's like political. I like the political aspect, but it's not my favorite Trek episodes. My favorite Trek episodes are this one, where they're like moral quandary and ethical dilemmas. When that stuff comes up, I'm like, ooh, I'm ready to cry. And let me tell you, I cried 4, almost 5 times this episode.
Really?
Probably shouldn't have, but I don't know if I'm just tired and it's like retail holiday stress of like being in that industry and like seasonal depression. I don't know, but I was just tearing up left and right.
I cried
outline
once
them for
at
you
a
later.
very specific scene, and that was it. Yeah.
Was it the tree?
It was the tree.
Before I
Okay.
Before
I was
I
gonna say that's
forget.
when I cried the most.
Before I forget, because I see
go
it's not on the thing. Zora is sentient.
I didn't put that on there?
I was gonna bring it up.
Wait, I didn't put that on
Yeah,
there?
okay. Before we forget, I don't see it. Maybe
It's another
maybe.
moment
Okay.
where I started to tear
No.
up.
I thought I put that on
I
there.
love it. I love it. It might be. I don't know.
Wait, you cried because she's sentient?
No, hold on. Okay, I have a thing about robot. Julian knows. Anybody?
It's actually
just says
very
the word-
true.
If you say the words Blade Runner to me, I start like just welling up. Like, I get very
You should talk
emotional
to Brittany about L3.
about like AI, artificial life, like all that. Anyway, moving
Yeah.
on.
That scared me.
What scared you?
That she's sentient.
Oh, well, we'll see. It's. I think it's an interesting thing. It would
It's
be really
going
cool to have a
places.
ship that's like kind of alive, and not in a nefarious way where it's like, ha ha ha, like I can't do that, Dave. Like it's like it's nice. But
I understood that reference.
thanks. I tried. Book and David Ajala specifically is really the heart of the show. Like especially in this season, and like he shines so much, and like a lot of his acting, like how Michael would always make me cry because Sonique was just that good of an actress every season. Like I feel this a lot with his scenes. So like just seeing the struggle on his face where they want to help the prisoners, and he's like, "This is the wrong decision." Like I feel like I need to save him basically to be like one life I can save out of all these I didn't. It got me emotionally, and I was just like, "Look." But yeah, the ship having emotions, love it. Culber's cry for help. We've all been there in life where we're just we think we're venting to someone about something, and they're like, hey, really, you need to take a break, and this is you crying for help, and you're like, no, I'm not, and they're like, you really are. Take a break. But yeah, when Michael gave the orb back to the girl and the tree just grew, I was like, this is it. I was like, this is referencing so many things that have happened in human history, and I'm bawling. But overall, yeah, I think the show's doing well with it. Keeps a plot that keeps me interested, and I like having these intimate character moments. Like we get to see like Stamets and Culber actually like growing as characters, recognizing, they have things they need to work on outside of just we're gonna die every episode.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
That's my short thoughts.
It's good thoughts. It's good thoughts. Speaking of thoughts, it's
Fun fact time.
Fun fact time.
and we're gonna hopefully see if this works. But Eric, unfortunately, couldn't be there. He had a minor operation today, and we are wishing him the very best. But he pre-recorded some thoughts, so I'm going to try some fancy technology stuff that probably isn't gonna work, and share my screen. Let me pull this.
We
thing
can
up
add sound
first.
effects though. We can be like he beams in or like shoo.
I'm hoping this is gonna work.
Hey everyone, just want to give my thoughts on the latest episode 5, the examples on Star Trek Discovery. I thought it was a wonderful episode. The 3 main plots I thought were great. I thought they were interwoven really well. The main storyline surrounding Book and Burnham rescuing the examples, which were prisoners on the planet that they're trying to save, I thought was a good story. I liked seeing them play off each other off world again. It reminded me of a lot of season 3. And I like that they met up with the wonderful Michael Grey Eyes from Rutherford Falls. He was playing Felix, the convict with the heart of gold. And I know it's a little bit cliche, the whole convict with the heart of gold, like I said earlier, but Michael Grey Eyes is such a good actor, and hearing him talk about their plight and how those people were actually not that bad, their crimes weren't that bad, and that their government was very totalitarian and it was crazy. So I like that he pleaded with Burnham to sort of bring them under Starfleet law to bring some justice to their situation. I thought it was great. Also, it was great to see Commander Reese take the initiative in the rescue effort as well. And then we get to learn more about his backstory. So it was nice to see him take more of the forefront, which we haven't really seen any of the bridge crew this year. Don't really take the spotlight. So having him show up a little bit more is nice, even though the rest of the bridge crew should, get their own little storylines more so. The B plot was around Stamets and Tig and Space Elon Musk or Ruon Tarka, trying to figure out how the space anomaly was coming to be and how it was man-made. And I thought it was really phenomenal. I love seeing science played out and them trying different hypotheses to try and get everything to work out, and how science can get dangerous, but it went, they tried to get as much as they could. The actor who played Ruon Tarka is Sean Doyle, who, if people watch The Expanse, played Sadavir Ehrenreich, who is a great villain in The Expanse, and he is phenomenal on Discovery, and I can't wait to see more of him. I hope I was going to call him Elon Musk, but I hope Tarka and Stamets get to work together more. And having Tig back, that automatically puts it up. And I like that those three scientists played off each other really well, and having Saru there as sort of like the oversight to make sure they didn't blow up the ship was wonderful. And hearing that the anomaly can take so much energy, like way more than the Discovery, is exciting. I look forward to seeing where it comes from. I don't know how I feel about it being man-made. I assumed it was going to be that way, but I was hoping it would be. They name dropped the Q continuum, and they were like, "Oh, we haven't seen them in 600 years." But part of me was hoping that they were sort of part of this. But I guess that wouldn't really make sense if he's a big part of, Picard, the next season of Picard. The third plot, the C plot, which is really about Culber trying to, I guess, deal with the weight of being the counselor on Discovery was great. It showed that not everyone, like he seemed so like grounded throughout the last two seasons. I know he's been through a lot, but it shows that not everyone is infallible and that there are breaking points for people, and even therapists need a little, relief at time. And Wilson Cruz is just a phenomenal actor. So seeing him play out that scene with David Cronenberg was wonderful. And then we get to see our space dads again. We get to see Stamets and Culber share a scene together, and I don't recall them being in any scenes this season, or at least nothing that really stood out. So it was nice seeing them in this very loving and wonderful relationship, and them leaning on each other, especially since they're both doing really intense jobs on the Discovery. So overall, I really, really like this episode. I think my favorite plots were the Stamets, Tig, and Elon Musk. Them trying to figure out the anomaly, I thought was really, really cool. Other than that, if I gave this a rating, I think it would be an easy. I'm gonna go with 9. I know Tig normally puts it up like way top, but I'm gonna give it a 9 because I don't think it was amazing, but I thought it was a really solid and good episode of television. The rescuing of the convicts sort of seemed very cliche and stuff that has happened before. So, nothing new, but it's still really, really well done. And again, Michael Grey Eyes, phenomenal actor. If you haven't seen him in anything, Rutherford Falls, he's wonderful. And then Space Elon Musk, or Sean Doyle in real life, on The Expanse. So watch The Expanse. Yeah. Yeah, that's it for me. Okay, bye. Thanks.
Everything worked. There we go.
Incredible.
I like it.
Look at that.
I'm really happy
Technology.
that worked out.
I love that he was like, it had TIG. It was everything.
Yeah. So, no, I really liked him talking about Lieutenant, or now Commander Reese, getting his moment in this episode as well. Like, giving the bridge crew more to do is great. So,
Where is Bryce?
remember, he's on leave on another ship, or he's not on leave. He's like been borrowed by another ship to help them with something. I don't know what, but that's where he is.
Okay.
He said it in episode 1.
You get
Okay.
borrowed for a bit.
Yep. So, my thoughts. I really like this episode. I'm gonna say it every week until it doesn't feel like it, but this just continues to feel like a Star Trek series again, and I really like that. I like the multiple plot points. I like that we're getting to see everybody do a little bit of everything. Introducing new characters. I really liked the fact that they're not shying away from like current events, dealing with some of the people in current events who are maybe really smart people, but also assholes, like Elon Musk, because Tarka was obviously Elon Musk, and you love to hate him. He's a piece of shit, but he's also a fucking genius, and everybody's rooting for SpaceX, right? Like it's
Not me.
Okay, well, I'm rooting for SpaceX.
I hate Elon Musk.
I hate
Can't stand him.
Elon Musk too, but I'm rooting the hell out of SpaceX, and Tesla is pretty sweet too. So you could hate the guy, but he does some cool stuff. And just like Tarka, like the dude is a genius, and it doesn't seem like a lot of people like him, but he's getting shit done. So I liked that dynamic. I did love having Saru in the room, Jet Reno with all of her quips, like he's like, no science was ever done without taking risks. She's like, I don't know if that's actually true. Like all of her little moments are awesome. Like I said earlier, Commander Reese kind of, getting a moment because he's had like nothing to do in this series. He's been on the con, like in the pilot.
He got the con.
He got the
that's what I was
con.
gonna say.
I know he got the
Most
con in the
important
pilot. Like he's
position.
actually finally like getting screen time this season, and that's really cool to see. I really loved David Cronenberg's scene as Kovic in this with him and Culber. I thought it's so well acted, and Wilson Cruz is so good. And if you haven't noticed, he's acted alongside almost every single main character this season and had amazing scenes with every single one of them. And I love that. And he played so well off of Cronenberg's kind of just like tough love, like you died. You don't talk about the fact that you died, and you are just like working, literally you're going to work yourself to death to this point. And if you don't want to hear it, that's fine, but I have another appointment and I'm going to go now. And I dug that. I thought that was really, really well done. The prison break
And
scene.
we still don't know who
No.
he is, by the way.
I think he's a therapist. I think
Still
he's a
don't know
doctor.
what's his
I think he's
deal.
a psychologist. I don't know.
Just around.
It's funny. Like I think way back to The Sopranos when like Tony Soprano was in therapy, and then the therapist was also in therapy. And it's just like, he's seeing all these patients, and meanwhile he's in therapy too. So remember, therapists also are in therapy. They have to deal with all your shit, and now they're dealing with their shit. So
Definitely.
yeah, I really dug that. The prison break scene was cool. It was fine. I really dug the character that Eric was talking about. I liked the story. His acting alongside Michael was absolutely wonderful. Michael in this episode is just, she's so coming into her own as captain. Every single episode, you just are like, it's like reconfirmation that she belongs in the chair and that this is the right move for the show. And God, they better not ever take her away from it, because we don't need that. Last thing, the science, like I really loved them recreating that experiment and just having that team there. Because remember, like, yeah, Saru is a captain now, but he's also a scientist, and it was just really cool to see him work alongside Stamets. And, scream at, Tarka because everybody wanted to scream at Tarka. I also love that scene with Tarka with, like you were saying, Brittany, like David Ajala. Oh, man. He should win an award for something this season. He won't because of the stigma with nominating anything sci-fi. But I hope he does, because his scene at the end, his scenes on the planet with Michael, it's wonderful. Let's get more detail, guys. Let's get the big reveal out of the way now. The DMA, not a natural phenomenon. It's been made by someone, a god level, like a TOS reference, right? Like it's got to be possibly like a god level race. Our new scientist has stated that some species he knows it isn't, and Admiral Vance also stated that he knows that it's probably not the Q Continuum, maybe not the Iconians. All these people.
Can we speak about that insane list of randos, like the Metrons
It was a weird
from
list.
Arena TOS, like these like silver dudes in robes? Okay,
I think
Then
that was
the
just them
Nasseens,
flexing on, like, yeah, look at our egg drops. Look, we could be
The-
like Lower Decks. Look at our Easter
the
eggs.
caretakers, like the caretakers, really the
caretakers, yeah.
caretakers. Like you think the caretakers created that thing?
And they
Then, what
could
was it?
have.
They take care of wiping everyone out, don't you know?
The Iconians, like, okay, and then they're like, the Q Continuum, yeah, like we dropped them like 400 years ago, yeah, or they are 600 years ago, and you're like, what? What?
I actually wonder if that was a reference to Picard. Is 600 years ago?
Yeah, I think they were just supposed to
Picard?
hint at like
Yeah.
Picard time. That's all
Yeah.
I got from that.
Yeah. Haven's asking who is the TOS Q-like character? Trelane, right?
Trelane, yeah,
Trelane, yep.
yeah, Trelane.
Who,
yeah.
let's face it, retconned is definitely part of the Q Continuum.
Hey, all Qs are trolls anyway, so Trelane, why not? Just joins
Yeah,
in.
absolutely.
Exactly.
But I like that. That means that in the future, like future of the future, in the 31st century, there's not been any god level encounter except the one from TOS. Like, what are you talking about? And they're like, oh
Interesting.
yeah, like remnants of like the Iconians. Like, wow, that's that. So yeah, I like the fact that Okona, what's his name? I need to write it down.
Tarka?
Tarka. He's like, yeah, we all know it's not these people. I was like,
You're like, then why did you list it?
why did
I
you
love
make a
it.
list?
He's like,
then?
it's definitely not insert 200 names here.
But I think he definitely knows what it does.
You think he does?
Yeah.
I don't
Probably
think he does.
him. He's such a.
I think it's him.
dweeb.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like
That
and
would be
the whole thing-
wild.
If he is, it's the only like Elon Musk thing I would like to happen. So that's
And
like, so you are really the bad
the
guy.
fact that like thing that he shows to Stamets, like his like prediction or whatever, like the thing he's
Mhm.
working on, it's like exactly working. It's exactly
Well-
He's
I
like,
was like,
ramp it up higher.
And there's a little, what do they call it? Like little hint in there when Saru's like, that looks very much like the DMA. So that is a plausible theory. Like, what if it's not some god level shit? What if it's this dude thinking that he's the man and has done something incredibly fucking stupid? That would be interesting.
yeah, and I like the fact that in the season 3 they were like blaming Nuvar for the burn, and they
Mhm.
were like, yeah, you did like science experiment and it gone wrong, and now we're all fucked, and it was not them. And I would really like for that dude to be the responsible of this. The only problem is the power source, and the fact that there's like not really anything that can compute that power force. I have a theory.
Okay, that's what this
I'm
is
ready.
about. So hit it.
Okay, so they've been talking a lot about the fact that they can't contact the Mirrorverse anymore, that it's going away. And I'm thinking, if it's more than a star, if it's more than like the biggest thing of power that they know, is it something that actually comes from like tearing up the other universes, something that is
I mean, possibly, because
outside
there's
of
always
their
that
universe?
theory, even in comic multiverses, whenever like universes either collide or they're being torn apart, that the dark matter energy that's
Mhm.
happening, or antimatter or anti-life, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
always like kind of explodes or can be harnessed and used by the bad guys.
Yeah,
Giraffe is
so
on something.
there's too many references to like alternate universe, mirrorverse, and so on that if they don't do anything, I mean, they let me down with the burn. So I'm ready. I'm like ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. But I think it's a probability.
I would not be disappointed if it was just like this idiot created something. If you think about what he's working on too, he's working on the next generation of faster than light travel, so they are not dependent on dilithium anymore, right? What is the first thing the DMA does in this episode? It disappears and jumps. It jumps. It literally jumps, which is what he's working on. He's working on a new spore drive. It jumps 1,000 light years away instantaneously.
But the energy, where does it come from?
But if he was able to create even that much, what if he had already been working on it and found a way to harness that power, and he's being very, very secretive, you know? Why is he only working with Aurelio? You know?
Because it was a fun name
But
drop.
Aurelio is a good guy.
Is he?
now, right?
Is he?
He's a good guy. We like him.
He's a fan fave.
Yeah.
When they said Aurelio, I was like, ah, Aurelio!
I'm in between. Like I feel like they purposely brought him on and made him not likable so that you'll think he's gonna be the bad guy. And like it would be too easy and too predictable if they make him like, oh, he's the one that created it, because it would just be like way too obvious.
Yeah.
So the one thing about Star Trek is they don't make everything obvious. Like we might find out who the big bad is later in the season, but if it does happen, I mean, it would make sense. But I don't know. I also thought it would be like a natural thing until we got a few episodes in, and then it's like, oh no, it's not obeying any natural laws, so it's probably not natural.
I'm half disappointed that it's not a natural phenomenon, because that would just be cooler and let them focus more on like a more episodic take on Star Trek, which they're still managing to do while throwing in this bit that it's, you know, that it isn't naturally made. So I mean, I'm kind of halfway on it. We'll see if listen. Anything would be better than the burn reveal. So
it depends on how cool the bad guy is, how cool the enemy is, because that's Star Trek. You know, they always like having an enemy. Doesn't matter how many or how little.
I do think that it may not be a bad guy, like in the idea that
but what about the Klingons? What about the Remans?
Yeah, where are the Klingons? Okay, that's another question. Where are the Klingons? What happened to them? Why don't they exist?
The burn happened. They're too far away.
No, but what if he actually created that, but it was not his intention for it to be like insane, because he was working on like a drive or something, and he got out of hand, you know, and now it got super out. I was like so out of hand that he cannot save him anymore.
Foreman and Voyager, right? That dude.
Oh yeah, that dude.
Kirkwood Douglas. Kirkwood Douglas.
Kirkwood Douglas. Like that was his whole thing. Where like
So I just
way out of him.
I just want to get this out of the way. Jay Crabsap and Haven are talking about what if it's malfunctioning future version of the Red Angel suit. To which I say, quash that shit down. Quash it. Throw it away. Get rid of it, because we're past that. We're in the future. The Red Angel suit was a mechanic to get us away from old Star Trek canon. We are not revisiting old stories anymore. I think the only old story that we are revisiting right now is Zora and the short trek from that she debuts in. So maybe we get something from there, but we need to push towards the future and not focus on what's happened in past events of Trek. No seasons have really interconnected of Discovery so far, and that's a good thing.
Quick correction, it's Kurtwood Smith.
Not Kirkwood Douglas?
No, because Kirk Douglas is a person. Kirkwood Douglas isn't a real person.
I just
noticed after we said it, I was like, it's not Kirkwood.
Kirkwood
it's
Smith.
Right?
That's right.
Yeah,
Kirkwood Smith. Yeah.
Kirkwood.
Anyway. Let's keep on the subject of the DMA.
What do you? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Eric, I did not cause the anomaly. I want to say that Eric is shaming me into Twitch, saying we all know Giraffe is the one to cause the anomaly.
There he is.
Hey, you never know.
I mean, if she says Kelvinverse one more time, maybe she will.
Plot twist, Jet Reno was gone for 4 episodes because she was developing the DMA.
Speaking.
What now, Eric?
Speaking of Jet Reno, how nice was it to have her back, right? Like, it was so awesome, and that dynamic between...
refreshing.
Yeah, like that whole dynamic between her, Saru, and Tarka. Like, how'd you guys feel about that?
I'm going to be negative about it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, I love
Just
Jet
shut
Reno.
up!
Oh, come on.
Let Giraffe have her moment.
No, I loved her Reno, and the dialogue was very good, but you could absolutely feel that she shot that alone in a room.
No, she was in
Like,
no. She was in no. There
You
were like
gonna
shots
look?
of. Okay, I'll have to rewatch it.
Well, like it's
she's
kind of like when she filled
always
in
alone.
what was it, Army of
Yes.
the Dead or whatever? It's the same thing where it was like the shots of just to her at the console. Yeah,
I'll have to
Yeah,
go back
she
and
is
rewatch.
we do know she had different
Absolutely
things
alone.
then.
Yeah, you can hear in an actor voice. Maybe I'm wrong, but I was like, there's something weird about this scene, and then I realized she's always in shot by herself. She's never next to anybody, never. And I think she was delivering her dialogue by herself, and that's why
She was
it
giving
feels
her
a little bit
snarky
off.
lesbian dialogue all by herself.
Man,
Yeah.
that'll be that great editing and great CG. So we'll have to ask Chad Rubel on Twitter.
We know it's great
mean, I wouldn't
editing
be
already.
Yeah.
But rewatch it. You're gonna see she's
Yeah.
always alone.
You're gonna
Yeah,
ruin
because
it
she's
for
not
me.
like she's not like walking around Stamets and doing her normal like banter back
No.
and forth. She's almost
And-
supporting him for once, and you're like, this is weird.
I think she was alone behind her console. She shot all her scene by herself, and for me, I loved Reno. I loved Stamets together, and it was missing this like bickering, a scene where they're together. That's
this
the only negative thing I have.
that's fair. That's
Swear.
fine. This was the first episode without Tilly, who would normally have probably been in that room too.
Tilly.
Was it weird not having her there?
I feel like it didn't really feel weird because I think that her send off was like a very like solid thing that happened. But I do like that the characters don't just move on and not reference her at all. Like they literally do talk about like, oh, if Tilly was here, this is like how this would be. So, but it makes me feel okay that she's not there because I mean, you see what they're posting on social media all the time. They're like, Tilly's the best, and everybody's like fan favorite. So you know she's not done.
Oh no, she's on interview.
worries.
She's still going to be in the season too, so it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a lot of people missing. Gray was not here.
Yep. No Adira.
Yeah, Gray,
no
Nadira, no Detmer, no Woe.
Nope.
No Detmer, no. Yeah. So
But it's good.
I mean-
It gives these other characters.
Yeah, it hops around.
Yeah,
It's
no,
nice.
I like it. I'm happy
no
with it.
Linus. I was looking for the scene.
Linus!
They
between
cut the
Linus
scene.
and
They cut the
Saru, and they
fucking
cut
scene.
it.
No.
Oh.
Linus.
Okay, so Linus just threw me off the entire podcast. This episode deals heavily with a subject that we didn't really talk about in our initial thoughts, but prison and like justice system reform, right? Very much like a part of this. Flaws in our justice system. What did we think about that rescue and the way in which the subject was handled this week?
Okay,
I
I
thought
lied.
at the
I have another
time-
negative thing as to say. Go ahead.
No, I just I thought of Linus before you started talking, and it just hit me. What if Picard was like, the Linus must be drawn here and no further? Like,
Get
that
off
just
my
sounds
bridge.
terrible.
Get off my bridge.
And
What
that's
is
how we feel
happening
about the
today?
justice system. The line must be drawn here and no further. Go ahead, Giraffe. Go off.
Okay, this plotline was so bullshit TOS. I couldn't. In the
It was
idea
very
that
TOS.
okay, prison is bad, justice system is wrong. Okay, I got it. But really, it's like he stole the bread to feed his family. Get
Hey,
out of here, Star
Aren't
Trek.
you
It's-
French? It's Les Mis, baby. It's
I was
Les
thinking.
Mis.
I was
know.
thinking Aladdin. He steals an apple and he gets
Oh,
arrested.
It's
so
absolutely Les Miserables. Like
It
it's
is Les Mis, yeah,
100% this. It is Les Mis. And the thing is like, okay, it's 2021. Okay, they shot that in 2020. Like, can't you like make a story about prison that is unjust that doesn't involve somebody who stole food for their kids who cheated at card? Like,
Don't you see? They're the political scapegoats.
yeah, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of lame. It's kind of like of 101, like TOS. Oh, this should not happen.
One of them had
Uh,
2 grams of pot.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's like legalize it already. Jesus.
But the guy was like, and by the way, again, Les Miserables, the guy was like
Yes.
the real bad guy, killed the dude that like hosted him when he was alone. He stole his wealth. It's like absolutely Jean Valjean. Except
Oh,
Jean Valjean
absolutely.
didn't kill the bishop, right?
But he stole
But he
He stole from the
Giraffe
church,
from
and
the
they
guy.
allowed it to happen. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Always
I'm like,
be a
okay,
slave.
it's 2021.
I'm sorry, are
You're
there
gonna write
theater
something
geeks on
about
this show? I
prison.
didn't know that.
So
Don't
I've
get me
never
started,
seen
I'll sing it.
I've never seen the musical, but I taught the book so many
But
times.
you read the book, yeah.
I
I've
read
read
and
the
I
book.
taught it too. So
Yeah.
like
Two different things.
yeah. So I think it's kind of lame because we know that the prison system and the justice system is a real problem in the US. It's a real question. There's real injustice everywhere, but particularly in the US, right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna write a track episode about questioning the justice system and the prison system, and you make it about the dude that like stole bread. Like, really? We can't do something more interesting? I was like, they could have written this in the 60s. And I was like, for real though.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
think
kind
they
of
were
like-
trying to make them like all very sympathetic, and like that's understandable.
Time out.
Yeah,
Haven
the
in the
face was good.
Haven in the chat just spelled Les Mis, LEMIZZ.
I like
And-
Lord
Oh my
Halsey's
god, I
style.
love it.
And my theater heart is just
It's like Le Mis.
on the floor
I
right now.
love
Like,
it.
oh, that was a good effort.
Beautiful.
Good effort. LES. Sorry, go ahead.
And just to finish on my rant, I hated the fact that the dude who killed, it's because I'm French and we don't have the death penalty, and we didn't have the death penalty. And by the way, Victor Hugo was super against the death penalty. He
Yep.
wrote so much against it, you know? And the fact that the dude that killed somebody is like, no, I deserve to die. And they're like, oh, we can't save him. And like, okay, die. And he's like, I die for my sin. And like, what? What is this? What? Like, what? I was super disappointed by this. And I know what they were going for, but I think we've passed this trope. I think we grew as a society and we need to grow up on these subjects, and Trek needs to grow up on this subject too. Come on. Done.
I like the hot take.
Mic
I think it's
drop.
good.
Giraffe is like, I'm French. Drops mic.
I will say though,
We-
I absolutely, my favorite scene in this episode is because of the whole prisoner rescue, is when Michael just lets that magistrate have it, and he's like, I'm the leader of that
Yeah, that's my
asteroid
favorite part.
that just went into the sun. Just remember, wherever you end up next, you'll be going as a refugee, and hope that you find a better justice system than the one that you created. If you excuse me, I have a vessel to command. Bye-bye.
That's like my favorite, like one of my favorite lines. Like I would like to have that quote like on a wall somewhere, and it'd be like, Michael Burnham said this.
I maybe I'll get you a custom plaque done for Christmas, your
You
late
should.
Christmas
Somebody
present, when I
give me
can
a
finally
t-shirt
afford
that just
Christmas
says that whole little
presents.
that little like 3 sentences she said, because I was just like, yes, Michael, you
Yeah.
can do no wrong.
Did you have anything on this, or can we move on?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Well, I agree with a lot of what Giraffe said. The only thing I'll add in is that I feel like they were trying to do that whole like prime directive aspect they always have. So they were walking that line of like trying to mention that like prison reform in our justice system is so messed up, but also like they can only get involved so much when something isn't under the control of the Federation. So she does that whole loophole that allows them to be refugees underneath her, and then she's able to do more with her powers. So I feel like it was one of those things that's showing that Michael is growing as a character when it involves politics,
Right.
if that makes any sense. So it was one of those small things where it's like she's being smart about like how to get around things the political way than just like, because Michael could just like snatch and grab everybody, save their lives, whether or not they wanted their lives saved or not. But she gave him that bodily autonomy because that's how the Federation is. She's like, I can't force you if you want to die here.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Book is like, I'm dying right now watching this happen. And she's like, we'll talk about it later. Will they? They didn't. They didn't.
didn't.
I'm concerned.
I like the fact that you see a little bit of like the courier Michael. Like, remember when they
Yes.
did this?
Yeah.
Remember when we wrote that?
Yeah,
I
I
like
love
the
it.
little like.
I would. Okay, if you're listening there,
I ship 'em.
Alex Kurtzman, give us a flashback courier episode. We all want
Oh
it.
my god!
Oh,
yes.
We all want it.
I would watch like 5
Please.
seasons.
I
of
would
that.
too.
Like,
I would too.
I don't need 5 seasons, but
I'd read another book. I'd watch Star Trek. Give me some.
Yeah.
Give,
Exactly.
give it to me.
give me a miniseries.
Guys, our C plot, C for Culber,
Culber.
had it to do with him needing to, his need to overwork himself. We get a great scene with him, as I mentioned earlier, seeking help from the ever mysterious Kovic, played by David Cronenberg. Was it nice to get an arc that dealt with Wilson Cruz and Culber finally, instead of the people he was helping, because he's helping so many people and having these scenes with other great actors, but like he really, for the little that he has, gets to shine in this episode.
Yes, that's my short answer. But he's a great actor. We love this character so much, and it's realistic that finally he's reached the point where like he's realizing in his subconscious that he's overworking himself, because like we mentioned earlier, therapists even need to talk to somebody else about the things that they are going through and they have to listen to, because like nobody's that strong that they can listen to everybody and try to help them with their problems and then not help themselves eventually in some way. And I feel like with everything else in this show, it really does keep poking back at to like what we're all going through with COVID. Like more and more of us, like we still do these podcasts, we love doing it, but like how many days are we just exhausted from like life and everything else? And like whether you're working at a job or Julian, you work tirelessly on this podcast, like you reach the points where even though you love something or it gives you fulfillment in some way, you're overworking yourself and you need to find fulfillment in other areas, whether it's just taking a break, being in your pajamas all day and playing like a video game just to chill, or talking to a friend. So I like that they're doing this and it's showing like these healthy aspects, because that's what Discovery's been doing. They tackle grief and all these emotions, and I think that's what makes the show really special.
Yeah,
I think it's like overdue that they address the fact that he should have some like trauma from coming back from the dead. And when they were talking about this, I was like, Gray? Gray?
Yeah, that too.
Gray?
I just don't know though. Like I don't know how much he didn't deal with it. Like the whole back half of season 2, when he comes back, is him walking around the halls like
no, about the guilt.
Okay,
the guilt of
okay,
like the survivor guilt.
Okay.
The survivor guilt. And there's literally another person on the ship that came back from the dead, and you're like, are you gonna like talk about it? Like,
they might now.
They might now, like, right?
Ray just got a new body.
I mean, that's
like,
fam right there. That's the family. Yeah.
That's
by
the
the
space
way,
base.
I want to say that the Brit's background has Wolf 359 over there, and it's triggering me.
Yeah, but
all my background.
Listen, Wolf 359 was an inside job. Yep.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like she completely cut out the Devron system, so
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, still
Had
not
to
there.
do it to him.
Um,
Had to do it to him.
anything else on this, guys? No.
You love to see it.
You love to
That's all
see
I'll
it.
say.
You love to see
You
it.
know,
He had a great
trauma
scene.
happens.
Yeah, trauma does happen, and this season is tackling it really well. Let's rate. Go ahead.
Before we rate, I just want to know. I just want everybody, please, tell me what you think is going to happen with Zora being sentient, because I know you love this. I'm traumatized. I'm like, that's not a good thing. And Michael is like, you feel emotions? Like, the hell? And I know we have Calypso, and Calypso is one of my favorite short track, and I see they're hinting towards this. But remember that in Calypso, there's nobody on board anymore.
But that's also a different version of Discovery, and they said they're going to tackle that. So.
But also, the true Discovery is the emotions you make along the way. So
Okay.
who better to have emotions than the Discovery herself?
Let's
Okay.
Let my ship feel emotions. Let her cry.
I
damn it.
agree.
She's been through a lot.
Eric says we don't talk about what happened to Shax. It's true. They literally say we don't talk about what happened to Shax.
That's what I wanted to mention. Is I feel like that was a direct sort of thing where it's like, you know how they always come back and they're fine the next episode? It's okay to not be fine 2 seasons later.
Yeah. No, in all seriousness though, if you go back to last season, I know that the trope is having, if an AI becomes sentient, like literally I'm about to beat Halo Infinite, and it's dealing with Cortana and the shit that happens to Cortana and her going crazy. They hinted very much last season that I think we can call her she, maybe she's a they. I don't know how to refer to a sentient AI. But we'll call her she for now, is a good character, tried to help save the ship last season from from, I can't even remember her name because she was such a bad character. Help me.
Didn't the ship actually recommend that they all have that movie?
Osira.
Osira,
Remember?
thank you.
Yeah.
Tried to
Yeah.
rescue them from Osira. Try to help them get the ship back from Osira. Did the movie. I think that Zora is the ship and has the best interests of the ship at her AI core heart. So I think it's obviously going to go somewhere. And if anybody watched the clip from the Ready Room, it is very much going somewhere. And
You
that's
could have
all.
said
Yeah.
AI corazon.
Oh, AI corazon.
Oh.
It would have been a pun in another language. Wilson, if you're listening,
She's going
you can hate
international.
me for it.
No, well, I mean, we'll see.
Good.
It looks like next week's episode is going to deal with it. So,
Oh, great. I'm going to watch the Ready Room again.
there you go. Watch the Ready Room. Do you know who's going to be on the Ready Room next week?
Oh, Riker.
Jonathan
I was like, you were pointing
Frakes.
down, and I was like, is it us?
No, two
like,
takes
like-
Frakes. Dude, how awesome would that be?
It's like nobody told
Guys,
me. I
we're
gotta...
guesting on the Ready Room next week. No, but hey,
If that would ever happen, I would
Paramount,
die.
call us. Rating out of 10 Razor Beetles.
Oh, the Beatles.
The
That was,
Beatles.
like my least favorite part of the episode. This is tough for me. I think I'll give this one an 8 out of 10. I think, is that my lowest rating I've done it so far?
I think so.
I'll say
But that-
the first half of the episode didn't get me as much until I think about the halfway point. Then I was really feeling the rest of it. But yeah, I mean, solid
Yeah.
Trek episode. I love everybody's performances regardless this season. So like the plot's trucking along. There's just some goofy stuff. Like sometimes they go to these planets and you're just like, this is just goofy.
It's
But,
Star
you
Trek,
know,
baby.
That's Trek at its heart. So yeah, have we
Yeah,
seen the whole
absolutely.
prisoner saving before?
Oh, all
Do we
the
get the
fucking
themes
time.
because we're adults? Totally.
Yeah.
But I liked it. It's
Yeah.
good.
Giraffe.
Yeah, I think I was gonna say 7.5, but then I do like it because it's the kind of Trek I like. So 8. I love TOS, but I love TOS because it's in the 60s, right? I don't want something like TOS written now, please.
Oh, okay, hold on though. I'm gonna rewind to episode 1 where you're like, oh my god, I love this so much, so many TOS references, it's so great, I
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah,
But Giraffe,
Just
hear
saying.
me out.
but not
You don't want it
like
every
on like
episode.
no, it's not that. No, I like the TOS style. I don't like the take on society that TOS had to be
Valid.
taken now.
Yeah, okay,
right?
fair.
I like the
We're not the same
style. I
60s.
like the sci-fi, but like, please do not drop sociology from the
Right,
60s.
fair.
now.
Yeah.
But hear me out.
So-
You have Discovery having 60s Trek and then touching on a story from the 1860s
Yeah.
in Les Mis.
Yeah, true.
Right?
So
So we-
8.
We have an 8. We have an 8. Anybody else on Twitch want to rate? Jay Krabs that gives it an 8.5 because of Jet Reno. Haven gives it a 6. Okay. 6 is good. I mean, 6 is middle of the road. I'm gonna give it
6 is passing.
It is. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. It is. This season is wonderful. There has not been a bad episode. This is a very typical for a 12 episode season, middle of the road episode 5. It got the job done. I was entertained. I'm happy. I'm with Giraffe. I think the one thing that did throw me off, it moved really fast. Like when it ended, when we watched the screener, I was like, wait, give me more. I want more. More, please. More, please. Keep giving me more.
They saved the people on that planet really quick. You were
Yeah,
like,
and the
okay,
tree,
we're
the
off.
tree moment got me, and then they're like,
The
"Oh,
tree
there's a
moment
bar
was good.
scene," and then, oh, yeah, we didn't even talk about the tree.
Oh
But
yeah,
that,
I forgot the tree
Yeah.
thing.
such
the tree
a
thing
great.
was like the moment.
It was
that
the
was
moment.
the moment of the episode.
That was
It
the
like
moment that made me get.
I
Oh,
was like-
you're gonna make me cry again, Discovery.
It kind of reminded me. Have you guys seen the Watchmen TV series on HBO?
Yes,
It reminded me
absolutely.
of like the family tree thing in Tulsa. Like that's why I was bawling my eyes out. I was just like, oh, I need to rewatch Watchmen.
Yeah.
I love that show.
So 8.5. Good ratings. Let's move on to the subspace to poll and mailbag.
Hailing frequencies are open.
And you get to read the poll this week. We asked the Twitterverse what they thought of episode 405. Giraffe. What did the people have to say? And Brittany, I got to start messaging you because I couldn't come up with a pun for
puns?
good. Yeah, I kind of
Oh,
failed
it's just
this
good.
week. Yeah, it's just good.
These puns. Okay, so the subspace poll is telling us that 55% of the good people of Twitter said it's. How am I saying that?
The
The
amazing.
amazing. The amazing.
She's like amazing.
Amazing.
amazing. The amazing. 27% said good. 12. That's no pun.
I know.
Yeah, no. That's why he has to text me earlier in the day, and I'll be like,
Good.
It was good.
12% said it was something, and 6% not a good example.
you could have said
It's,
exemplary.
No, but not a good example because the name of the episode is the example, and the prisoners of the
Well, yeah, but I meant like. for
exemplar.
good.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
yeah, like example.
Yeah, sure. All right.
It's
I fucked
okay,
it
We're
up this
explaining
week.
the
It's
puns
okay.
now.
It's
It's
okay.
like,
I got to message you
You
next
should just
week.
leave it blank and have me fill it in before the show. I'll go.
There's 3 mailbags, so I'm gonna start because I know that Brittany wants to read Haven's, and then Giraffe, you could read Eric's at the end. I'm gonna read Rob V. He wrote this season. This is from last week. We're reading people's mailbags who don't necessarily get them read on the live show on Thursday. So this is from last week. This season of Discovery is just superb. It seems the whole cast have stepped up to a completely different level and keep elevating each episode. Absolute facts. Rob, thank you for your mailbag.
Ding.
Ding, you're up.
Haven wrote, I'm not a huge fan of Tarka. Neither am I, man. I'm not sure if it was intentional for us to not like him. But the absolute candor we got from David Cronenberg definitely made up for it. On a special note, I want to share with the podcast Michael Greyeyes, who played Felix, is the second Star Trek star who I've met through my father, the first being Tom Jackson, who played LaCanta in the TNG episode Journey's End back in 1994. As I am First Nations, as Americans put Native American, it brought me absolute joy to see another First Nations actor on screen. I'll share a single word in his native language, Gisagatin. It means I love you. And well, I am directing that at the show and each and every one of you in our Discord group.
Aw, thanks, Haven.
So, Gisagatin, guys.
Yay.
I mean, we're hating on Tarka, but being a very
think he's
smart
supposed to be
guy on
lovable.
Orisa must be so
Torture.
hard.
He said it was torture.
No.
Yeah.
It was torture. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't imagine that.
I feel no
Imagine.
remorse.
Ugh.
He's like every man I've had to listen to at like a science lecture. It just likes to hear himself talk. I'm like, okay. Man. Every dude that walks into the comic store and tries to tell me about my own job.
I will introduce you
I'm
to
just like-
cool scientist dude. I will.
Thank you. I like the cool,
Uh,
chill scientist people.
Eric Davies, who's new on our Discord. By the way.
Yeah. Welcome,
Woo!
Eric.
Eric Davies wrote, just wanted to say hi to the podcast. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
It's awesome to find a place where I can geek out the way I want to. As this episode goes, it's kicking on all drives. The TOS God level name drops was golden, I agree. And Culver, Winston Cruz, just killed it. Anyone that calls themselves a helper has felt how it does at the point of burnout.
You-
Mhm, yep.
He does at
Yep.
the point of burnout.
The
sorry.
true burn is in this season. I had to get one more in there. I haven't done that many puns. I've been so tired, guys. You gotta forgive
Bullshit,
me
you
this
haven't
whole-
done that many
What are you
puns. What are you
saying? Oh my
smoking?
God.
I used to do more.
She didn't
I've been
stop a
slacking.
minute.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I feel like it's not enough. My brain's going way faster. So
Lastly, and I hope this can be a future topic, Disco is doing what Enterprise tried to do.
Giraffe is like, hold on.
What? Make the
Arrête.
universe smaller. We are not all over the place and branching out, but making sure the neighborhood is okay. I do not say this to downplay or undercut everything Enterprise gave us. In my humble opinion, Discovery's way is better received than Enterprise was. I hope this finds everyone in good spirits and safe travels.
Oh, Eric, thank you. That was a great mailbag for your first one too. Well done. Well done.
Yay.
Side note,
Um,
whenever I see IMHO, like I understand what it means, but in my head I'm like, I'm ho. Like I just can't like every time. So if I would have read that, I would have been like, I'm ho, Discovery's way, and I would have been like, nope, wait,
Oh.
No,
break it down.
I am not
in
saying
my
that.
humble opinion.
Guys, that is going to do it for this week's episode. Before we go, we'll say Merry Christmas to Brittany, who won't be here next week. So Merry Christmas to you. We'll see you before New Year's for the Before New Year's episode. And yeah, we'll be back right before Christmas for episode 406. I don't remember the name of the title yet, but we'll be here live, and then it'll be Christmas. So
And for
that'll be
60th episode, no?
Be there
for
or
our
be square,
60th
'cause you're not
episode next
around.
week. 60th main episode next week. So for Brittany, for Giraffe, for Julian, that's me. I say to you, live long and prosper. Jolan True Majram. Good night.
Thanks for beaming into our podcast today. If you want to keep the hailing frequencies open, you can subscribe on Apple and Google Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. Like what you hear? Put in a good word with Starfleet and leave us a 5-star review.